everything about this is so wrong, and I don't think I can say that. You want to do the intro with Mom? Okay. You want to do the intro with Mom? Say, hey, it's Matt, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you? She's been crying all day and I don't know why. Okay, go on. It is my birthday week. And that means I need a birthday dress. We did this last year where we made this really beautiful green dress. I also wore it to a wedding that I was attending. Miss Moo. She's been playing in the pattern. Yeah. We also did this for a wedding I attended my birthday weekend last year, and I thought it would be a really fun thing to make this a tradition here on my channel, to make my birthday dress every year. Oh, I found this pattern on Etsy that we're going to be using today, and also it is 4:36 on Thursday evening. My birthday isn't until Sunday, but I have to have this done by essentially this time tomorrow, maybe 5:30 tomorrow. I could stretch it to, so I have just about 24 hours to sew this dress. And I am not a seamstress, nor am I known to be a fast sewer. And I have never attempted this pattern before. She's still playing. So I'm really setting myself up for success. I also don't have fabric. I have the pattern, okay? I built the pattern today. I thought I got clips of it, but turns out I didn't. Me and Moo built this pattern. Here's a picture of her. We did it together. She loves pattern making, but I don't have fabric. So we're gonna go to the thrift store and see if we can find something at the thrift store. And if all else fails, Jordan and I can head to the fabric store. They're open till 8. No! This girl. And yeah, so let's see what we can find at the thrift store. My goodness, it's a demon. Are you playing hide and seek? Hello! Please don't. Crazy.
Okay, bye baby. You guard that. Mommy will be right back. Bye.
Every day you make mistakes, but heroes know that's what it takes to find themselves, to save a friend, discover true love in the end. When you're down, you close your eyes.
I like this one. It's expensive though. Of course. Okay, I have you precariously set up. I have this expensive one that I really love, but I don't know, like 25 bucks. That's a lot of fabric. And then I have this yellow one that I think is also really pretty. Okay, I made it home and I went with the yellow. The black and white one was cute. I'm an August baby. I'm a Leo. I wanted a little yellow action. I don't wear a lot of yellow, so I thought this would be a fun way to work it into my wardrobe. And I'm just gonna set up and cut. I think that's all I'm gonna be able to get done tonight, is getting all my pieces cut up, and then we can start sewing in the morning. I just wanna get everything organized and ready tonight so that I can go to bed and wake up and start sewing first thing.
I still remember the day that you came. You were so little. For me it's just a day. Now you're all grown up, tall as a tree, strong as a wolf pup, faster than me.
Hello and good morning, friends. I have a lot of work to do today, and I didn't read through the pattern before I bought it. I just said, ooh, that dress looks pretty, bye. This is very intermediate. There are techniques in this pattern that I have never heard of ever. Right, Ketchup? There's like, I don't know how like complicated they are, but there are things like I have never attempted and never even like heard of in my whole like life. And I'm not a seamstress by any means, and I'm very much still an amateur. Like, I've been doing this for like a year, but I'm still very much a beginner. I am in no way like a master at this craft. So I'm gonna be starting with the pin tucks. Oh yes, ketchup. I'm gonna start with the pin tucks on the sleeves this morning, and that's what's gonna give it that like tiered ruffle effect. I originally thought it was just like separate pieces sewn, but it is just like one big piece that is ironed in a specific way and then sewn in order to like create the illusion of tiers when it is just one piece. By my best estimation, that is essentially what's happening, and it starts with the iron. Also, I'm wearing sweatpants today. It's just that kind of day. It's very much a sweatpant day. I did not pre-iron any of these pieces, which I should have, but I didn't, because honestly, I'm just lazy. So I'm doing it now. I find that ironing the bed sheets are really difficult when you have limited space, so I cut them and then deal with any imperfections that I come across along the way. I will say, the more prep you do, like the cleaner the garment comes out in the end, but there are tons of ways to like clean up a garment as you go to get that same result and not have to like do something when you don't have the space, you know? So for the pin tucks, I have these marks on my sleeve. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're on each side. And the first thing I'm gonna do is put it right side on my ironing board and fold this towards me. Fold the back, or the top, I guess you could say, towards me, and find that first notch. So my first one is this one right here. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna do a little fold there, and then find that same first notch on the other side and fold it the same way towards me. And then I do this. Watch this. And I just make sure it's right. And that the fold is on the little mark, and then I pull it taut and kind of give it a shake, and it will even itself out. And I start in the middle with my iron, and I kind of mark the middle so that it sets, so they don't lose that spot, and then work side to side. Because I've got a small ironing board here, I can't do it all at once. So starting in the middle makes it so that it's even, it's already marked, the seam isn't gonna move, and I can move around my piece on my ironing board and not worry about losing that mark. This is the tricky part. This part took me a second, so if it takes you a second, don't worry about it. I'm still not 100% sure about it, but we're doing our best here. We're doing what we can. So the next step is to kind of like roll it over itself. Does that make sense? You're gonna kind of open it up like this and find, it's probably easier if I show you on this end, find that next mark and pull this fabric down to meet it. So that you're kind of making that same seam we just did, but now you're doubling back and making a Z right there. This part is the finicky part, I would say. And it's made this like flap. I'm going to iron down the flap. Same principle, starting in the middle, it makes it even on my small ironing board. All right, that is my first pin tuck done on this. Oh no, where did I go wrong? Is my other one like that? Oh no, I did it wrong. I did it wrong! Oh no. Okay, hold on, let me fix this. Okay, I had the pin tuck facing up, and the pin tuck has to face down. So this like little flap that it makes has to go down. I think this is an easy fix. I'm just gonna iron it this way. That's the thing about like teaching yourself techniques and like learning. I could watch a tutorial, and to be honest with you, I've watched maybe an hour and a half worth of the same video over and over, and it just never made sense. Like I'm still struggling because I don't learn that way. I learn by doing. I'm a tactile learner. I have always been that way. Like I need to learn for myself by doing and figure out how it works in my head. But it looks really pretty. Oh, careful, Miss Girl. No, thank you. But here we go, my pin tucks. They are in. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see them, but they'll add lots of volume onto the sleeve. Okay, let's work on sewing these in. I'm not 100% sure if this is right. I checked the instructions again. I don't ever want to blame the instructions for like me not understanding, because I'm a very much a beginner, and I should have read that this is a more advanced pattern. But even with the like accompanying tutorial, it's not super clear what to do here. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go with what makes sense. Don't try this at home. I fear this is correct. Couldn't find my sewing scissors, so the kitchen scissors it is. I think this is right. I'm gonna do them all like this so that they're at least all the same, whether it's right or not. That way, it's cohesively incorrect. I feel like these are pretty correct, honestly. They're not 100% right, but I think they're as good as I'm gonna get them. Okay, let's move on because I don't wanna like worry about this anymore. Okay, the next step is to join the sides to make the tube. And this is why we left this part unsewn here. Like you can see, I didn't go all the way to the end because I'm sewing a straight stitch the whole way, not including, like I'm not sewing down the pleats, if that makes sense. I'll bring you guys in so you can see on the machine how I'm gonna manipulate this in my machine. So putting my right sides together like you would any sleeve, I'm gonna start working down and pull these folds taut and do my best to make one single straight stitch all the way down. Okay, the last thing I have to do on this part is just do a basting stitch on the tube. The sleeve is looking like a sleeve and that's amazing. I'm getting really stressed out by it. But once this like sleeve part is done, I'm okay. The last part of this sleeve part is to put a cuff on it. But like, I cut a cuff. You guys know me. I love a flouncy sleeve. You know what? I think I'm not gonna do the cuff. I think I'm just gonna leave it as a bat sleeve. Okay, change of plans. Cut for time is the cuff. And I'm just gonna do a simple rolled hem edge on the bottom of this sleeve and have it be like a bell flouncy bat sleeve instead. I'm gonna quickly do that and then we can work on putting the front and the back together. I still have to do the other sleeve. Okay, I gotta dial in. It is 2:19. I have to dial in. The sleeve is the last like complicated part. We still have to handle the top. So I'm gonna simplify the bottom. I think that's just like a necessity. I just have to make this simpler. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can do is make this as simple as possible and just make it a rolled hem. All right, the hem is done. I'm gonna move on to the top part. Here, it's a bunch of pleats, and I'm gonna be so for real with you. I really have no idea. I honestly couldn't tell you what I did. I just kind of did it, so sorry. I'm like stressing about the time crunch here. There's a couple of tricky things left, but nothing as tricky as the sleeve. The next couple of steps though are very simple. I'm taking both back pieces and sewing them together on their center seam, and I'm doing the same thing on the front seam and sewing the backs, like center seams together. And once I have those two center seams sewn, I can move on to making a little bit of bias tape from my scrap fabric to use for that like center cut out ring that's there. And I'm gonna use that bias tape to clean up that edge and make that edge finished. And then we can move on to the last like tricky part of the dress before everything comes together. I am also very new to making my own bias tape or using bias tape in general. So this was a little nerve-wracking, but essentially I just cut my 45-degree piece and it's like super stretchy, so as stretchy as it's gonna get. And I just did my 3 like irons. It's a very similar technique to the straps we did for my tote bags we made a few videos back. So if you want like an in detail of this step, check out that video. It's a very similar process, except we use interfacing there. We're not using interfacing here. All right, I've got it all pinned down. I'm gonna run it through my machine. 08 friends. We are in the home stretch. That was like the last, not weird, but like thing I had never done before. All that is left is to attach the front and the back together. I'm doing a straight stitch with my favorite method of finishing a seam, which I haven't talked about yet in this video, but we've talked about it many times before if you've seen another video of mine. I like to do a straight stitch and then zigzag stitch on the like inside of that seam instead of like going around and finishing all my edges before I do a project. I do this mostly with my bedsheet projects purely because it uses less thread, it wastes less like time and energy, and normally these bedsheet projects are practice for me and I'm not always going to like wear them, or they're not going to anybody else, they're just for me and I don't mind it being finished that way, and it just makes the most sense for my brain to do it. So that's what I'm doing with this dress too. And once the two sides are attached, I'm gonna go ahead and hem it now before we attach the sleeves because the sleeves are a little cumbersome, so I'm gonna hem it first. I'm doing the same sort of hem that we did on the sleeve, just a double rolled hem. Super simple, super easy. And then I'm going to attach the sleeve. Nothing crazy here. Again, all I'm doing is attaching the sleeve exactly how you would want to attach a sleeve, and going back in with the last of the bias tape made from this fabric to finish out the neckline. Now that we have all these elements together, it's time for me to put it on and see what it looks like. So the big question of this video was, can I make a dress in like 8 hours? Like really like 8 hours. Like, can I construct it? Really, it's like 24 hours. Like, I could have started this yesterday, but I didn't. I really started sewing this morning. I started at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's 6 o'clock now, but I've been panicking and crying for about 45 minutes. So I'll call it 8. Can I sit down and make a dress in 8 hours? Yes, I can. Can I make a cute dress that's worthy of me wearing on my birthday in 8 hours? No, I can't. I made a hospital gown. I made an actual literal hospital gown. And I already tried to save it by slutting it up. Like I cut 8 inches off the bottom. I already tried. Everything about this is so wrong. And I don't think I can save it. Like one, I don't think I have it in me to save it. And 2, I like just don't think I can. Even if given unlimited time and materials, because I think after assessment, the real problem is the bedsheet. And that sounds sacrilegious to me. That sounds like I'm going against everything I've ever known and loved, but it's the bedsheet. When I picked this one, I had 2 options. I had a thicker, nicer one, and then I had this yellow, and I was like, oh, my Leo, let's go with the yellow. And it was like a duvet cover, and so I was feeling it doubled. And this is just, the fabric is so thin and papery. It reads hospital gown, I think, no matter what I do. The only thing I could think, going like full slut with it, which I don't mind. Like, I'll wear it. But I think that's the only thing I might save it. Jord, I'm gonna get an assist from Jord to show you, like, what I mean by that. Like, this hospital gown is not giving. Can you do the thing that we were seeing?
Nipple book?
Yeah. See, if I'd have to work on the sleeves where they are, but if I made it tight, give me a little more. If I made it tight and did like big sleeves, I think it might work. Oh, I don't think I've shown them the back yet. I think it's a combo of me. I think I made the wrong size, which I don't know how I measured, but whatever. And it's just the fabric. Do you have any thoughts?
It's really big. I think it's partially like it's a little too big, and then the fabric is like 10 to 25% the problem. I think
the fabric is 90% the issue.
Okay, we'll bump it up to 50-50. Right?
50-50. It's supposed to be big. I think if it was big and the fabric was nice, I think it would work.
Did you show them the bat wings?
My little...
They got them to stick out.
My little wings. I still don't know what they're for, to be like totally honest. So this is not what I will be wearing on my birthday. Just FYI. I have decided that I will not be going out to dinner on my birthday. I will be underwater. I shall be putting my feet in the ocean, and I will be eating junk food and sitting on a beach instead, because That's exactly what I need after doing this. I bit off way more than I can chew, and that's fine. I just have to suffer the consequences of that. Okay, will you be so kind as to grab me a child? Will you deliver me a child for the people? Oh, Moo's the sacrifice.
Moo.
Oh, Moo is the sacrifice. She's always the sacrifice, isn't she? Isn't she always the sacrifice? What do you think about Mommy's failed dress? Nothing? Oh,
For the price of one.
two for the price of one. Swap out. We had the oven ready swap. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my weekend underwater. Because that's what I need after this experience. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you liked me, please consider subscribing. I make DIY content of all kind, from dyeing my own hair to attempting to sew my own clothes to flipping furniture. I do a little bit of everything, and there are some big changes happening to this channel very soon, so be ready for that. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, so thank you so much. I will see you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye-bye.